Would you believe that you can make tons of beautiful kids dresses just from one simple pattern? In this video, I will show you step by step how I transform one basic dress pattern into 3 high-income dresses, perfect for birthdays, parties, and even mini photo shoots. If you've ever wanted to multiply your income without multiplying your stress, this video is for you. Stick around because I will show you how you can turn these same styles into sellable products even from home. My name is Ajulam. Welcome back to another sewing tutorial. Before we get started, here is everything I use for today's tutorial. I used 1 yard of scuba fabric for this tutorial, and then this 1 yard is I use it for a 3-year-old. So if you have a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, even 4-year-old, you can use 1 yard. But if for this particular flay, I will advise that you use any cotton fabric blend, any fabric that is of cotton blend. Don't use scuba because scuba is very strong. So just use something soft so that the flay will really show after sewing. So I started by drafting out a simple basic A-line pattern. So all these dresses, I'll be creating them from this simple A-line pattern, and then this tutorial is going to come in 3 parts. So today is the one I'll be making just a simple flay dress from using my A-line pattern. So here I was just writing down my measurement, the shoulder measurement, the length, the chest, and all of that. And now if you want to have different size charts for kids, you can send me a WhatsApp message because we just launched our over 15 different kids size charts. So in that size chart, you're going to see lapel jacket size chart from age 1 to 13 years. So we have over 15 different size charts, like I just said. So if you need that, just send me a WhatsApp message and then we'll take it from there. So the first thing I did here was just to start by drafting out my pattern. It's a simple A-line pattern, like I said earlier. I also have a video on that, but today's video I decided to take it one at a time so that even if you're just a beginner, you can easily understand what I did here. So the first thing I did was just to mark out my 1 inch as my starting point line. Then after marking that out, I connected it to a straight line and then mark out my chest line and then the length of the A-line pattern. From my starting point line, I marked half of my armhole measurement. Now for the armhole measurement, I'm working with 9.5, which include both the front and the back. So 9.5 divided by 2, I just mark that and connect to a straight line. That will now be my chest line. Then I marked out the length of the A-line dress. I am working with 17 inches for this particular one. So I just marked out the length. So the next thing to do is to mark out half of my shoulder measurement. Remember, my paper is on fold, so I'll be marking out half of my shoulder measurement, and whatever I have there, I'll just take it down to that chest line and then come down by half an inch. Shoulder slope for neck width and neck depth, I am working with 2.5 inches. You can also make it more or less depending on how you want the neck area to be. And then I connected my shoulder slope to the neckline, and that is just that. So the next thing is just to connect the armhole and then mark out the chest measurement, and then you connect to the hem area. Now, after connecting the armhole, the next thing to do is to mark out the chest measurement. So whatever you have on that chest line, just take it straight to the hemline and add extra 2.5 inches to the hemline to form the A shape on that area. And then just, mark out half an inch upward and connect it so as to remove that sharp point there. And then you have your A-line pattern ready. So I just cut that out. And then we are going to alter it now to give us the flay effect that we want this dress to have. Now that my A-line pattern is ready, so the next thing I did here was just to mark out my center line. After marking out the center line, I decided to measure what I have on that chest line and divide by 3. Okay, so this is where this point is where I'll be slashing open and then spreading it to get the flay effect. So I decided to mark 3 points. After measuring, just divide by 3 and then mark the point all the way down to the hemline. Okay, so that is where I'm going to be slashing after making the lines visible. So that is exactly what I'm just doing here. So just keep on watching, follow the process, but work with your own measurement. After marking out my lines that I'm going to be slashing, I decided to add extra 1.5 inch. You can also make it 1 inch or 2 inches. It depends on where you want your flay to start or end. So I extended that line upward, above the chest line, because that is where I want the flay effect to either start or end. If you want yours to end on the chest line, you can just ignore this part. Then after this, I quickly slash through, and then the next thing to do is just to place on my fabric and then spread it out the way I want it and then cut. It's just as simple as that. All right, this is what I have after the slash and spread method. Now, if you're very okay with what you have, you can go ahead. But here I decided to, add a little to that center front line. So I decided to slash it open once again because I really want that front to be very full. Like I said earlier, if you really want to see the beauty of this dress, make sure that the fabric you're working with is of a cotton blend or a very soft fabric, so that by the time you finish sewing, it's going to give you the exact flay effect that you really want. Now this is a scuba fabric. As we all know, scuba is very strong, so it will not really show the beauty of this design. So I just slash through the front line and then give it a little cut, so that by the time I spread it out, it's going to relax well, and then I'll cut this out on my fabric. This is the final look that I'm going for. So like I said earlier, you can also choose this or end it after the first slash and spread method.